Hello, I'm Greg Medcraft, Chairman of IOSCO, and I'm here to tell you about some of the great work we are doing to improve securities regulation around the world. Together with Secretary General David Wright, we will tell you about the considerable achievements of the last year and look to the future priorities for IOSCO. We've continued to develop policy guidance of value, to scan the horizon for risk, and to work hard in supporting our members to be better regulators. Cooperation between our members is strong and growing stronger. Importantly, we've agreed a strategic direction to 2020 that builds on our many post-crisis achievements. IOSCO is now the key global reference point for securities regulation. I'll look first to our policy work, starting with reports on credible deterrence in enforcement of securities regulation and the report on cross-border regulation. These go to the very heart of what we as financial services and markets regulators do in an increasingly globalized world. We've also revised our Code of Conduct Fundamentals on credit rating agencies. We've developed a strategy for investor education and financial literacy, and we worked with the Basel Committee to improve the regulation of securitizations. We've also worked with CPMI to address the risk posed by central counterparties, and we've developed risk mitigation standards for non-centrally cleared derivatives. Of course, policies around cyber resilience, audit quality, business continuity, and recovery planning continue to keep us busy. I'll now pass to David to expand on some of our other achievements.
Thanks, Greg. There's certainly a great deal happening at IOSCO, and even more so today as financial activities are shifting more and more to securities markets and to capital markets as a whole. So let me tell you about some of our current highlights in our work. First up, our work on risk and research identification is commanding more and more of our attention, particularly the challenges around weak corporate governance, conduct risk in firms culture, and a topic on everybody's lips these days, digital disruption, not just to firms, but the regulatory implications of this. Our securities markets risk outlook 2014 to 2015 gives a unique perspective on the risk we face in developed and emerging market countries, and we're continuing this work this year. The work that the Affiliate Members Consultative Committee is doing on very important work on cyber threats is also very notable, and many consider this to be among the most important risks that we face as regulators today. This year, our implementation monitoring work is another key IOSCO activities, and this work is intensifying. We've published no less than 8 reports on areas as diverse as financial benchmarks, money market funds, disclosure regulation. With the CPMI, we've also reported on the implementation of the principles for financial markets infrastructure. And there's more to come. We will be very shortly publishing the report of our first country review about Pakistan's implementation of IOSCO's principles of securities regulation. And our work with our Pakistani colleagues highlights some gaps in regulation and regulatory capacity that need to be addressed. The regulatory capacity of all of IOSCO members is being increasingly supported by IOSCO as an organization. We have a major initiative underway, supported by the help of our nominated board members, to develop online training tools and additional seminar programs. And we're hoping after the London conference, the regional hub proposals will be able to be tabled for the board's consideration. As Greg mentioned at the start, cooperation between our members has continued to strengthen, and this is very welcome. We now have no less than 105 signatories to the IOSCO MMOU, and it's being enhanced even further to reflect many market and technological developments since it was first drafted. And lastly, at the instigation of Greg Medcraft and ASIC, I'm pleased to say we've launched a secondment register which will open up very interesting opportunities and possibilities for our membership to exchange experiences in different jurisdictions and on substantive issues. Let me pass now back to Greg for some more comment on work outside IOSCO and IOSCO's future plans.
Our work with the Financial Stability Board and the G20 has really taken a front seat in the last year. This has been driven by their interest in better understanding the risk posed by market-based financing and more broadly the markets we regulate. We now have a strong voice in the FSB meetings from the plenary level through to the membership of the standing committees. I'm particularly pleased that Natasha Kazanov has been appointed to co-chair the FSB's workstream on shadow banking. We've also supported the G20 agenda on economic growth with our report on market-based finance solutions for SMEs and infrastructure, and it has been well received. The IOSCO strategic direction for 2020 is also now agreed. It builds on and intensifies our very good work since 2010 across all our programs. Our members benefit from an integrated package of services, research and risk identification, guidance on regulatory approaches, and support in implementing and administering that guidance. I'm confident that this strategic direction, once executed, will reinforce our position as a key global reference point for securities regulation. In the year ahead, we need to build on our achievements. As chairman, I have three particular priorities. The first is to ensure that we stay on top of the issues posed by digital innovation and digital disruption. Second, that we continue to have a strong voice at the FSB and in other forums, especially around market-based finance. And third, that we continue to prioritize the building of regulatory capacity and capability of our members from growth in emerging markets. This will help build a level regulatory playing field across global markets and so reduce regulatory barriers to cross-border activity. We can't do it without you, and you know that this work will benefit all IOSCO members. Thank you. I look forward to working together.